We have a troop of 16 scouts and 3 leaders going to Jamboree in 1999 at quite a substantial cost, and this is our last big ditch fundraising effort. It's going really well. It's obviously just our first hour of being open, and we've had quite a number of people through the doors. Our stall holders are happy, they've had a few sales, and we have Mr. Plummer doing some work already, giving valuations to people.
What you've got is a very, very playable violin that somebody in the family can play. I mean, it might be you, but it might be your children or your children's children. And it will last that long. It's lasted 100 years and been carted halfway across the world, so they're pretty good.
Is it worth doing anything with?
Oh, well, I mean, somebody in your family, did it come down through the family?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, probably your grandfather, your great uncle or something else has played this thing. I mean, I'm a great believer in things going down through because the stories go with it. It doesn't make the things valuable, but it makes them terribly important in terms of a family context. Again, a good, this good military, French military valor medal. And to see the whole lot in context like that gives you a tremendous insight. This and that, a letter to the War Museum giving the details of those medals will let you know more about them, what this was awarded for. This was awarded for a reason. Now, do you know that reason or not?
Something to do with a French family that he saved or something.
So what sort of antiques do you like?
I think things that tell a story. I mean they're vital because then they become living antiques, and there's nothing I hate more than a dead antique. I mean, rather like today with that violin. I mean, can you imagine? I can imagine that being played at weddings and parties in this family, and I think it's terribly important that that stays in the family, and it'd really be lovely if, you know, the children or the grandchildren play it because it brings it to life again. And that medal, what a wonderful chance to fill an enormous gap in a family history. And someday someone in that family is going to go to France and they are going to be treated so brilliantly. It's fantastic. And that's a living antique.
And so how do you enjoy doing these sort of evaluations?
I like them because you meet people and there's time. Invercargill in particular is always a pleasure because generally speaking down here people have a higher regard for them. They tend to look after things a lot more so than other city areas. You know, it's, which is an interesting point. Plus down here, I mean, you get besieged with coffee and biscuits and that sort of thing, which is really rather nice. You don't get shoved into a corner and neglected every time anybody passes you. They give you something to eat or a cup of coffee, which is lovely. Lovely Southland habit, you know. If you're not talking, you must be eating.
Trevor Plumley, the antique dealer valuer from Dunedin, and that's a fundraiser for the Raiwhiti Scouts, and they're away to the big Jamboree next year. Didn't they do well? Coming up next.